Hey, good afternoon, happy people. Again, this is Dr. Ralph Frederick Murphy II. Shout out to Rhode Island. You all finished the book. I've heard nothing but great things. And so, since I'm not able, again, to speak to you all directly, I thought the best way of interacting with you would be through showing some images that you can hopefully remember and hold on to as you share a lot of the great things that you've learned by reading I Hated School Until I Figured It Out. And so again, this is a picture of myself, Dr. Ralph Frederick Murphy II. Currently, I'm CEO, author, and business professor at Illinois Central College currently. And as you read the book, I started out telling you about how poor I was. And so this is a real image of East Cleveland, Ohio. This is a back street, and it shows a lot of, I would say, a disastrous imagery of where I grew up and some of the pitfalls and things I had to overcome. So this is again a drug-infested neighborhood, a lot of drug abuse that happened on these back streets. Second, this right here is actual footage of an abandoned apartment building that used to be full of addicts and drug abusers that I would have to walk by back and forth to school every day. So I walked past this apartment complex every day for about 5 years. And this is, again, disastrous image of, some of the things I had to encounter, which is further the reason why I hated school, because this is what I had to pass to get to school every day. And again, this is one of the images that changed my life ultimately. Okay. And in the book, I talk about going against the grain mindset. And so because I had to travel and back and forth across this bad neighborhood, and I had to look at things and see things again that I wish I hadn't had seen, a lot of traumatizing events, I developed what I talk about, a go against the grain mindset. And so I'm the individual in the red. If everybody was going left, I was going right. I was kind of a standalone, and that is because I had to learn how to be myself. I had to be comfortable with being different. And by being different, that's how I was able to be successful. And it started again in high school, and then when I got to college, and it's helping me today as I work as a college professor. You have to be different. Going against the grain, it's okay, because ultimately what you're going to do is you're going to meet up with people with the same intentions, the same mindset of being successful, and that is breaking the mold of normalcy. So I wasn't normal, and I don't apologize for not being normal. And in essence, I think that this was one of the best images I've ever came across that describes who I am, and it describes what it means to go against the grain. Also in the book, I tell you all how I pictured myself as an athlete. Okay, so this is dream versus reality. I really believed I was going to go to the NBA. I really believed I was going to go to the NFL. And you hear a lot of stories about individuals say, oh, I was great in high school. I was great. I could play basketball. I could play football. Well, these are my trophies. These are my trophies and my brother's trophies. So my brother was a very, very big basketball player, star. He's a star basketball player in East Cleveland, Ohio. And then I myself, I was kind of a big deal as well. Those are MVP trophies and basketball, football, and track. So think about this. I showed you my conditions, and in my conditions, I grew up in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the country, and somehow, some way, I had to deviate from being an athlete to being a scholar. And so I challenged myself to dream big and pay attention to my reality. So I couldn't make it to the NBA. I couldn't make it to the NFL. I did not go to college on a full scholarship, but I did go to college to learn. And because I played these sports, it helped me mentally, helped me physically, helped me psychologically, because I developed a winning attitude. And this is one of my favorite pictures of Dr. Martin Luther King. He's the third person to the left. He's sitting in the front row. This exemplifies me as a student. I believe, and I was first place. And by that first place attitude, I wanted to sit in the front row. And as I got older and older, I was sitting in that front row. And this is a great picture of Dr. King. So I am encouraging you to think about winning, think about being in first place. So remember, I showed you my pictures as an athlete, Now I'm telling you, you must transition your mind into first place all the time. Okay? This is a picture of Dr. Martin Luther King on the far left after he completed his PhD program. And so I followed Dr. King, and I encourage you to follow somebody of higher stature in history, somebody who you can align your goals and your dreams with so that you can become successful. So I wanted to be like Dr. King. Okay? And this is the University of Toledo. So in the book, I tell you about the University of Toledo. This is when I left East Cleveland. I went to the University of Toledo. Now, mind you, this is a whole new world. So think about the pictures I first showed you and what I grew up in. Now I'm coming to this university, and I need to learn how to maneuver around this campus. I need to learn how to maneuver around the real world. I need to learn how to navigate. And so coming to the University of Toledo, again, changed my life. And, you know, I went on to get my master's degree, and I completed my doctorate degree. So this is a picture of me and my doctorate degree and my uniform. Okay, I feel like Superman in this robe, in this picture. And so I really, really enjoy this picture. I love this picture, and I am encouraging you all to overcome those obstacles or any barriers that you believe. Now, I'm not saying you have to go get a PhD, but I'm encouraging you to reach for the highest height. And whatever that highest height may be, this is something that you can reach for, okay? So these are some of the colleges and universities I've worked for. Again, education is a large part of my success. Education will be a large part of your success. So I want you to think big. Now, here's a few quotes. So Jesse Owens said, "One chance is all you need." I showed you all where I came from. I talked about the book and my struggles and my pitfalls. But once I got a chance to be successful, I never looked back. Okay? Next, Dr. Mae Jemison, never be limited by other people's limited imaginations. And so I believe that there was something bigger for me outside of East Cleveland, Ohio. And because I believed that there was something bigger for me waiting on me, I never looked back. I continued to strive for greatness. And because I continued to strive for greatness, I overcame a lot of barriers and a lot of obstacles, both educationally, psychologically, and mentally. So right now, I honestly, I feel unstoppable. Okay? And again, Nelson Mandela, he said, "It always seemed impossible until it's done." Remember, I had issues with math. I had to overcome my math anxiety. I had to go get help. I had to learn how to learn. I paid attention to everything that was happening around me. I observed everything and everyone. And then I learned from people. I talked to you about my mentors. So my mentors helped change my life. Guys like Lerone Myrick, Kevin Coburn, Commander Copeland. And so they showed me that it seemed impossible until it's done. I talked about the fact that Kevin Coburn showed me how regular, normal day, 8 to 5 working people lived in large houses. I showed you where I came from. I never believed that it was possible until somebody showed me that it could be done. Next, Katherine Johnson, Hidden Figures legend. And she says, take all the courses in your curriculum, do the research, ask questions. Find someone doing what you are interested in and be curious. And so I found Kevin Coburn, I found Lerone Myrick, and I asked them a plethora of questions. I never felt bad about asking questions. I was curious. I wanted to inquire. Okay, I showed you again where I was from and what East Cleveland looked like. Individuals on the streets, they ask questions about gangs, they ask questions about drugs, they ask questions of how to hustle. Now I want to ask questions about how do people live in those large houses? How do people get jobs? How do they get careers? How can I be successful? Those are the type of questions you want to ask over and over again. Okay. Now this is very important because there is a falsehood of what success looks like and what people think it looks like, okay? I had a lot of barriers learning, but once I figured out how I learned, I took the squiggly line to the right and I went to the top, okay? So again, you all may have some minor setbacks, you may have some barriers, but believe in yourself and know that it is only for a short time. Now let's go back to the formula. You know this formula. You want to remember this formula. Write this formula down, memorize it, become obsessed with it because it works. Believe that it works. You'll see that it works. You'll put it to work and you will overcome your learning barriers. You'll overcome any anxiety because you know the formula. And what is the formula? It's not, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's positively embrace moments directly affecting success. Okay. Positively embrace moments directly affecting success. Again, this is who I am, Dr. Ralph F. Murphy II, CEO, author, and professor. Again, it's been my pleasure. I hope that I have impacted you in a way that you will remember for the rest of your life. Please hold on to that knowledge, talk about that book, share that information, and believe that education is the key. Because in the end, I'm telling you, I hated school. I hated school with a passion. And some of you all may have hated school, but hopefully after you read the book, you learned how to figure it out for yourself. You're ready to put those tools to work. I am so grateful and appreciative of the opportunity. Please, again, hold on to that book, talk about it, and if all goes right, I am looking forward to meeting you all and talking more about success and some other stories that I'm learning in business, entrepreneurship, and some other things as it pertains to education and how you can be successful in the future. With all that being said, one love, and again, remember, positively embrace moments directly affecting success. Thank you.